Surah 41, Fussilat. By the one who is denoted by the name Allah, who created my being with his names, in accord with the meaning of the letter B, the Rahman, the Rahim. Ha-Mim. This is a revelation, an explanation, from the Rahman and Rahim one. Most beneficent, most merciful. For people who understand, it is the knowledge, whose signs are expounded as an Arabic Quran recitation, as a giver of good news and a warner. But the majority of them have turned away from these truths. They do not hear. They say, our consciousness is cocooned from that to which you call us. There is heaviness in our ears, and there is a curtain between you and us. So do whatever you may, we too are doing. Say, I am a human like yourselves. However, it has been revealed to me that which you think, as God is one, possessor of uluhiyah. So turn to him and ask him for forgiveness. Woe to those who are in duality, who fail to understand the oneness of existence and ascribe partners to Allah. Those dualists do not give unrequitedly for Allah, and they deny their eternal lives to come. But those who believe and fulfill the requisites of faith, there is an unending reward for them. Say, do you really deny the one who has created the earth in two periods? In reference to earth, this refers to the period of materialization of earth and the formation of animate beings. In reference to the body, it refers to the time between conception until the 120th day to the time of birth. Allah knows best. So he's dividing the birth into two periods. Do you assume the existence of other gods to him? He is the Rabb of the worlds, the one who forms, with the names of Allah, every instance of the process of creation, from the point it is willed and its formation to the end of its existence, creating all the required and appropriate qualities necessary for its actualization. And he formed firmly set mountains, egos, on the earth, the body, and gave abundance therein, and determined the sustenance for the continuation of its creatures in 4 periods, without distinction for those who ask, according to their capacities, and established himself in the heaven to manifest some of his names, while it was in smoke form, natural formless self, and said to it, consciousness, and to the earth, the body, come willingly or by compulsion to manifest my names. They both said, we come willingly to obey. The heaven equals intellectual state, and the earth equals bodily organs, both willingly manifest the qualities of the names. Thus, he decreed there to be 7 heavens, the 7 states of consciousness, self, and revealed to each heaven its function. And he adorned the nearest heaven of earth with lamps, enlightening ideas, and protected it. That is the determination of the Aziz, the Alim, the mighty, the knowing. But if they turn away, say, I warn you with the thunderbolt, like the thunderbolt of Ad and Thamud, when their messengers came to them, from in front with what they knew, and from behind, and with what they did not know, and said, do not idolize others, serve and worship only Allah. They said, had our Rabb willed, he would surely have disclosed angels. We deny that the knowledge of the reality with which you have been disclosed. As for Ad, the people of Hud, they were arrogant on earth without right, and said, who is mightier than us in strength? Did they not see that Allah who created them is mightier than them in strength? They denied our signs consciously and deliberately. They thought the forces pertaining to our names belonged to their assumed selves. So we disclosed an icy wind upon them during the days of misfortune, so that they taste the suffering of disgrace in the worldly life. But surely the suffering of the eternal life to come is more disgracing, and they will not find any help. As for the mood, the people of Saleh, we guided them but they preferred blindness over guidance, reality. So the thunderbolt of the humiliating suffering seized them as a result of their conduct. We save those who believed and protected themselves. When that time comes, the enemies of Allah will be gathered together and driven to the fire. When they, the enemies of Allah, come there, their ears, hearing, eyes, sight, and their skins, their whole body will testify against them about what they used to do. They will ask their bodies, "Why did you testify against us?" They will say, "Allah, who makes all things speak, made us speak. He created you the first time, and now to Him you are returned. And did you not expect your hearing, sight, and bodies to testify against you? So you lived as you liked. You thought Allah was unaware of most of your doings. Your mistaken assumption about your Rabb has brought you to perdition, and you have become among the losers. So even if they patiently endure it, thinking it will pass, the fire is their abode. If they try to please the Rabb, pretending excuses, they will not be of those whose excuses are accepted and appeased. And we have appointed for them companions, those with satanic ideas from among the jinn, fire beings, and man, those incarnate in clay, who made attractive to them their actions and desires, and the sentence concerning the jinn and man that had passed before them has now come into effect upon them. Indeed, they were all losers. Those who denied the knowledge of the reality said to those who listened to the Rasulullah, Messenger of God, "Do not listen to Al-Quran. Talk baseless things in regards to it. Perhaps you will overpower it. Indeed, we will subject those who deny the knowledge of the reality to an intense suffering, and we will surely make them face the consequences of their deeds. Fire is the result of the deeds of Allah's enemies. For them is the home of eternity therein, as the recompense for consciously denying our signs, refusing to accept the Rabb. Those who deny the knowledge of the reality say, Our Rabb, show us the two who misled us from among the jinn and man, so that we may place them under our feet, that they may be among the lowest. Indeed, angels, light beings, Malaika, will descend upon those who say, My Rabb is Allah, and who live their lives accordingly. The Jamal forces of the divine attributes will manifest, which means, do not fear and do not grieve, but be happy with your paradise, which you have been promised. We are your friends, Wali, in the worldly life and the eternal life to come. You will have therein whatever your consciousness desires, and whatever you request therein, you shall have, as the disclosure, manifestation of the Rahim, the Ghafur, the Jamal attributes. Who is better in speech than one who invites to Allah and fulfills the requisites of faith and says, Indeed, I am of those who experience their absolute submission. The good deed and the bad deed are not equal. Repel the bad with that which is best, then you will see the person who had enmity towards you will be like as though he was a devoted friend. Only those who are patient and granted this quality, and those who have been given a great grant, are allowed this patience. If an impulse from Satan seduces you, immediately seek refuge in Allah, the one who comprises your essence with his names. Activate your inherent forces of the names. Indeed, he is who? The Sami, the Alim, the hearing, knowing. The night, intrinsic qualities. The day, extrinsic qualities. The sun, the intellect, and the moon, emotions, are all of his signs. Do not prostrate, idolize to the sun or the moon, but prostrate to the Creator, Allah. Listen to your intuition, which is inspired by the names, for there is always an inner voice guiding you to what is right before you commit a deed. If you are conscious of your servitude to Him, if they continue to be arrogant, egotistic, then let them know that those who are near their Rabb, consciousness of essential reality, tasbih Him, live with awareness of their servitude to their Rabb by night and by day without becoming weary, and These two verses are one of the 15 prostration passages. So you put your nose and head on the ground as you face Mecca, your hands on each side of that, your knees and feet square. So 7 points. It is from his signs that you see the earth body in a state of awe. When we disclose water, knowledge of the reality upon it, it quivers and awakens. Indeed, the one who has given life to it, one devoid of knowledge, is the one who gives life, Mohi, to the dead. Indeed, he is Qadr, powerful over all things. Those who pervert our signs from their intended purposes are not concealed from us. So is the one who is thrown into the fire better, or the one who is secure during doomsday? Do as you wish. Indeed, he is Basir, seeing of what you do, as the creator. And that comment, one devoid of knowledge, as the one that would receive the life, that's what's meant. Indeed, they deny the knowledge, reminding to them of their essential reality. Indeed, that knowledge, reminding them of their essential reality, Dhikr is mighty. Falsehood cannot reach it from its front directly or its back indirectly. It is a dimensional disclosure from the one who is the Hakim, the Hamid, the wise, the praiseworthy. O Rasulullah, you are not told anything different to what previous messengers were told. Indeed, your Rabb is both forgiving and one who subjects to severe suffering. Had we made it a Quran, not in Arabic, surely they would have said, these verses should have been understandable. A non-Arabic Quran to an Arabic-speaking Rasul, messenger. How can that be? Say, it is guidance and healing, enabling healthy thought for the believers. As for those who do not believe, there is heaviness in their ears. It is an unperceivable object for them. Thus it is as though they are being called from a distant place. Indeed, we gave the knowledge book to Moses, but they differed in regards to it. And if it were not for the decree of your Rabb, it would have surely been judged between them. Indeed, they are in dubious doubt about it. Whoever fulfills the requisites of faith, it is for their own sake, and whoever does bad, it is against their own selves. Your Rabb is not unjust to his servants. The knowledge of that hour, death, belongs to him. Outside his knowledge, neither fruits emerge from their buds, nor a female conceives or gives birth. That day when he, Allah, calls out, where are my partners? They say, no one has witnessed such partner. This we confess. That which they previously uttered is lost from them, and they realized they have no place of escape. Man is not weary of asking for good things, but if bad afflicts him at once, he loses hope and falls into despair. Indeed, if we make him taste our grace after an affliction, he will surely say, this is my right. I don't think that our doomsday will come to pass. Indeed, if I am to return to my Rabb, I have the best in his sight. Indeed, we will inform those who deny the knowledge of the reality of what they do. Indeed, we will make them taste severe suffering. I haven't pointed out every time I needed to adjust the translation, because we have returned when it should I'm to return. When we bestow a favor upon man, he turns away and distances himself. But when a bad thing afflicts him, he prays extensively. Say, think if this knowledge is from Allah and you have denied it. Who can be more corrupt than the one who's gone astray from the reality to this extent? We will show them our signs in the horizons externally and within themselves until it becomes clearly evident to them that it is the truth. Is it not sufficient that your Rabb is witness over all things? Pay heed. Indeed, they are in doubt about the meaning of the Rabb from experiencing the manifestation of the Rabb within their essence. Be careful. Indeed, He is encompassing over all things, forms all things with the qualities of his names,